Pops, we're going to talk about one of the latest and greatest dealership scams. Is that the word to use? I hate to put anyone like in the scam category, but this one's pretty shady.
How about we talk about the high-end creativity that seems to manifest itself within the dealership walls.
So we've got Roger R. back on the YA community. He posted this manifesto of sorts, his recount of his experience buying a Toyota 4Runner from a local dealership in Idaho. Okay. He got a great deal. The reason he got a great deal is because he had to agree to doing financing through Toyota, through the dealership, at 5.9%.
Yes.
Now, when he signed on for that 5.9%, he also signed a discount refund agreement.
Yes.
Now, Pops, this discount refund agreement essentially said that if you try to close the loan, either pay it off or refinance it within the next 6 months, if you do that, this agreement legally binds you to pay us back $2,000, the chargeback that we'd be accountable for to the bank. Have you ever heard of someone, a dealership, giving someone some sort of agreement like this that essentially binds them to paying back a chargeback?
No.
Cool. So neither has Kimberly Klein, our F&I auto advocate, Space, Phil, everyone on the YA community was like, what the heck is going on?
Yes.
And so we've got some updates here. Roger said, I called the Idaho Department of Finance, and the person I spoke with said she is going to consult with a supervisor and call me back. Depending on what she says, I can file a formal complaint and or pursue other legal remedies if it doesn't sound like it's legally cut and dry. It's worth mentioning, the reason Roger's even considering refinancing or getting out of that loan is because there's been a transmission issue with the vehicle.
Yes.
And he hasn't been able to use it for, he had it for 15 days, and of those 15 days, he was not able to use it for 13 of them, something like that.
So he's got 2 days worth of use out of it.
So he's thinking, okay, let me just sell this to like Vroom or Carvana or something
let them
like
deal with the issue.
But he can't.
Yeah.
Because he can't get out of the loan, or he can, but if he gets out of the loan, he owes the dealership $2,000.
Yes.
All right, so he called the Department of Finance.
Yes.
Okay, Roger then says, I spoke with Toyota Financial, and they, as I assume, do not have a copy of the, quote, discount refund agreement.
Why would they? It's between the dealer and you. It has nothing to do with Toyota Financial.
They did not know anything about the holdback or that they would be charging the dealer $2,000 if I refi or pay off the loan early. I then talked with the owner of the dealership, and he explained that they have been doing this for years and that the person I spoke with doesn't have all the information and that I was welcome to come into the dealership and see the written agreement he has with Toyota. He said he is doing the customer a favor by taking $2,000 off the price of the vehicle in return for having to keep the loan for 6 months. He couldn't really answer why I did not have the option of getting better term options, even with my near perfect credit, so I no longer know what to think. He also added that the practice has been confirmed as being legitimate and that he's been to small claims court many times. He kept emphasizing that this discount refund agreement is just between he and I and not Toyota Financial.
Exactly.
It just occurred to me, so I didn't ask earlier, if this is just between you and I and Toyota is not going to come asking you to give them $2,000 back, how would you ever know I paid off the loan? Not sure what to do next other than file a complaint with the Idaho Department of Finance. It's worth mentioning, Roger's pretty smart here. He actually did the math, and it still made sense even for him to take the 5.9%, pay it for 6 months, and then refinance. That discount that he got was worth it. But talking to the dealership, talking to the owner, this sounds like an owner I don't necessarily want to do business with, but that's just me.
It sounds like the height of creativity.
The update here. Thanks. I filed a formal complaint with the Idaho State Department of Finance. I gave them the details of the agreement with emphasis on the lender may require Edmark to refund the compensation to the lender, and thus I would be paying several $1,000s more interest than I would be otherwise for something that may happen. Why Toyota Financial cannot tell me anything about this agreement and the resolution I am looking for is simply for the Idaho Department of Finance to determine if this is a legal process or not. And now, here's the latest update from Roger. To give credit where credit is due, the dealer called me back on his own accord with specific numbers for the holdback and discount, so he's beginning to make an effort to justify the refund agreement. He realized I'm the same customer with the 4Runner in the shop, and he mentioned the new Tacoma they gave me as a loaner, as well as he's going to try and get me at least 1 month's payment covered. 1 month payment would cover most of the additional interest I would otherwise not be paying. He also added that the mechanical issue is not an isolated issue this year, but in the other cases, the dealership just replaced the parts. Not sure if it was the front differential and or the transfer case, but Toyota was unable to reproduce the issue with the old parts, so they wanted to see the problem firsthand in my vehicle. So poor Roger.
Yes.
Not only does he have a broken 4Runner that he just bought,
Yes.
he's also got this agreement that he signed with
Yes.
the dealer owner saying, take me to small claims court, I win it every time.
Yeah.
Where you owe me money if you try to refinance out of your loan.
Yes. Has Roger spoken to an attorney?
I don't know. Roger, let us know if you have. I actually reached out to our counsel for YAA and I said, hey, have you ever seen anything like this? And Nick got back to me. He's like, no, never seen anything like this. And he said he's going to contact a few other people in the firm. I told him, I said, do not research this too much because I don't want you to bill us your hourly,
Yes.
doing too much research on this. But he said it would be off the books. He'd do some research for fun. It doesn't seem like this is a common practice, but it's something that if you're out there, you should be aware of. If you go to a dealership and they have this.
I don't know. I don't know how legal or illegal it may be. I don't know how binding it may be. But it is a document that's been signed
Yeah.
by the customer. I don't know that it was signed by anybody at the dealership.
Even outside the legality of it all, Dad, it's just
But
like, know before you go. This is a thing now.
Well, apparently it can be a thing now, and do your due diligence before you start signing things that you don't know what they are. Find out what they are and make sure that they comply to the way you want to do business. If they don't, then you have a decision to make.
And honestly, this is the type of story that should be on like NPR and other like national iHeartRadio, whatever. This should be like out there. Like this is something
Yeah.
that everyone should know about, and it's just to know before you go. And if this is legal, which evidently, at least in Idaho, it is, everyone should.
Well, we
know.
don't know. I mean,
this dealership's been doing it.
Well, yeah, but dealer personnel, including owners, have never been known to exaggerate. Oh, I've been taken to small claims court many times, and I've won. He didn't necessarily say, I've been taken to small claims court
For
many
this
times
agreement.
over this agreement.
Yeah.
Okay. He just said, I've been taken to small claims court several times, and I've won. We don't know what if he's talking about that agreement. We don't know that he's actually been utilizing this agreement for years. Why would he have had to be using it for years when there wasn't a shortage of vehicles?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that there might not be all 100% of truth in some of those statements. So no, I don't know that it's necessarily legal and binding in Idaho, and I don't know that there's been any court cases in Idaho to determine that.
All right, so share this video as like a PSA. Let's get someone who has the expertise to comment on this.
You know what? We YAA should put forth $10,000 to litigate this to find out what the legalities are. Yeah,
let me
you say that
check
was-
the bank
There's
account
some
first.
creativity for you.
Maybe
Yeah.
tune in next time. Maybe.
It could be a good public service and advocacy thing on our part.
Comment down below 10,000, and if we see enough of them, we get 10,000 comments, I'll do it.
Okay, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it from Zach first.
Legally signed, binding.
Yes.
All right, Pops, let's see what happens here.
Okie dokie.